How's it going, folks? It's pre-intro Jack here. Just to let you know, at the end of this video, I'm going to add in some burner footage of some kind because I don't want people to look at the length of the video and try and work out what happens. It kind of ruins the whole thing of what will happen in the end of season drama, which at the point of recording this, I don't actually know what happens because I've not sat down and recorded it yet. But let's hope for a good result. And, future Jack, editing Jack, I should say, really. Run the intro, let's do this. What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to episode number 22 of Park to Prem here with Lincoln City. Today we have the end of the League One season, at least the regular season. There is still a lot up for grabs. 2 games coming your way today. As you can see here, we are taking on Crewe at home and following it up with a game away from home against Barnsley, who, spoilers, sit in third and are breathing down our neck. Yes, this is going to be a nervy episode. It could be the last episode of the season, or it could be the episode that precedes a playoff run. Whatever happens today, I'm hoping it's going to be entertaining. I'm hoping that we're going to look pretty good. But no, it's going to be tough. Barnsley, 3 points behind us. They have better goal difference. Oh, I don't like these scenarios in Football Manager. Since you were last here, we've played 4 games and we've also made 1 future signing. We might as well talk about that first and foremost. Lewis Finlay is joining us from Manchester City, a player who was released or announced to be released from his youth contract at the end of it. We swooped in, snapped him up, some potential. Unambitious means he probably isn't going to hit it, but you know these kind of deals by now. You sign these youngsters released by Premier League clubs in the hope that 1 in 10 of them turns out to be a little superstar. That's the dream. We'll see if Lewis can live up to my dreams. Anyway, since you were last here, we have actually played 4 matches in the league. Of course, last time out, playing AFC Wimbledon, who currently reside in second. We beat them convincingly. So going into this easier run of games, I was hoping that we were going to do the business. Did we do the business? Absolutely not. Against Plymouth, we drew 1-1 at home. We took the lead through Ben Cottrell. A rare goal for him, not from the penalty spot in this game. Unfortunately for us, Courtney Senior scored with 15 minutes left of the match. And well, despite some late changes, a late flurry of opportunities, couldn't get the breakthrough. It finished 1-1. However, things did get a little bit better in the 2 away games that followed that Plymouth game, as we took on Blackpool and Walsall, a 4-1 win and a 5-1 win. In these games, we look very, very good. Sims getting on the score sheet a few times. Jake Taylor also getting on the score sheet in both of these. I think it goes without saying that the players that we brought in January really have made quite a big difference, and Jake Taylor is no exception. Unfortunately, in our most recent game against Jake's former club, Forest Green, we lost 3-2, everyone, and it wasn't a very good game, if we're being honest. The only silver lining I can really take is that Scott Twine scored an insane free kick at the end, but it came a little too late. They took the lead in this game through Corey Blackett-Taylor, and despite us getting a goal back through Felix Garcia before the game was over, or before the half was over rather, it was 3-1. Yeah, they took the lead, went 2-0 up, we pegged them back, you'd hope for a response, it didn't happen. Just before half-time they got their 3rd goal of the game, and I made changes and we tried to go more attacking and it just didn't work. It was one of those games where it's the first time we've lost in a very, very long time, going all the way back to Boxing Day. So almost 4 months unbeaten. What a time to lose that run as well. It's really not a good opportunity. It means that I feel like the momentum, it slipped away from us a little. But who knows, maybe we can find it again against Crewe. That's definitely going to be the hope and dream today. As you can see, a week separating these 2 games we have coming up today. Which means that I don't have to worry about rotation too much, although we did play midweek against Forest Green. If we just look at our squad, we have no injuries, no suspensions, nothing to worry about whatsoever. So essentially, I can pick what I think is my best 11. And while Scott Twine has been in some really good goal-scoring form, of course, he's been in good goal-scoring form at Swindon, but at us as well. 6 goals, 5 assists. He's going to hold down a position out on the left-hand side. And besides that, I don't think there's too many shocks in this team at this point. Garcia has just continued to score goals. He's now got 4 goals in 12 games. I feel like he's earned his opportunity to play at centre-back for the rest of the season. He also, incidentally, has the highest pass completion in the team, which I thought was a little bizarre in terms of percentage. I think it's 93 or 94% in all competitions. But of course, we've got Lopez, Cabango and Hughes. Cabango and Garcia, they've really got this good relationship going. I will say that this year, Cabango's improved a little bit under the radar, I feel like. He is one of the few players in our team that I look at and go, you are championship quality, and I feel like you would do a job for us next year. I think another player perhaps falls into that bracket is Cumming. He's looked very, very good, the 26-year-old. He's had a fair bit of interest in him. I've not really talked about it. You can see Sheffield Wednesday currently interested in him. Birmingham City also made a few offers for him in January, but there was no chance he was ever going to move on. And nice enough for us, he had no interest in moving on. He was desperate to stay at the club, which was particularly pleasant. Of course, alongside Taylor, another player who came in January and has looked very good is Nathan Coughlin. 3 goals, 4 assists. Not the best average rating in the world, but we've just looked way, way better when he's been playing in the midfield. I feel like between him and Taylor, we've just got significantly more quality there than we had earlier on in the year, and that has definitely been a big aspect, I think, of our recent run of form. Obviously, Fitzpatrick has made this transition out onto the right-hand side for the most part, with Twine obviously coming into the team and playing out on the left. But out on the right-hand side, he's looked very, very good. Debatably better than he looked out on the left, which I find a little bizarre. Playing as an inside forward, of course, he's right-footed playing on the right, and he's right only as well. So it's not like he's cutting in on his stronger foot. But I've always been someone who, whilst I would, pay attention to preferred foot, I feel like this just goes to show that actually you can have a player who's right-footed playing a role that involves cutting in from the right-hand side, even if they're not very good with their left. I think Fitzpatrick isn't an exception. I think this is just something that is how it is in Football Manager, even if I don't think it's that realistic, I suppose. Anyway, Green is playing at centre attacking mid. He's improved a little bit this year. Truth be told, I've been playing Cottrell there a fair bit, as well as Chris Willis. I'd say centre attacking mid is the one position where things have very much been up for the grabs. You can see here the performances by all of our players across the season. Cottrell's been very good. Chris Willis has been very good for the most part, perhaps on paper the best of our attacking midfielders, but as things have kind of fallen into place as we've reviewed performances, given the fact he's in on loan as well, he has slightly fallen down the pecking order, but I'm sure Nottingham Forest are pretty content with how much he's played for us, and as you can see, he has been developing under our leadership. Of course, up top we have got Sims. It goes without saying that this man needs to be informed today. We need goals from him. 22 he's got so far this season. Could he get to 25? That would be an ideal performance for him today across the couple of games that we have. And while going into this first game at home against Crewe, I expect nothing but a win here. Regardless of what happens, I think our fate is kind of in our own hands. Because if we lost today, we play Barnsley on the final day of the season. And if we could beat them, that would take us then above them. But obviously today's first match is an opportunity to potentially get promotion secured a little earlier. If loads of results went our way, we could potentially win the league with a game to spare. But there is quite a lot of potential for this to go very, very wrong. Even Preston, who, of course, were really high in the league for a long time and have fallen down, they're still within touching distance. They will be looking to capitalise on any slip-up from ourselves, AFC Wimbledon, or indeed Barnsley. Anyway, taking on Crewe, we are the favourites, and inside the first 2 minutes, there's a highlight that looks kind of promising. Twine bringing it forward. He's got 2 goals in his last 2 games. Can he get another one here? Ball whipped towards Sims, but it is cleared away, and I imagine Crewe are going to be looking to hit us on the break today. They've been a pretty good team, Crewe, as of late. They've been catching teams out. I've been keeping an eye on them, knowing that they're a game on the horizon. And this is why I was worried, everyone. They take the lead in this game. This is not what was meant to happen. This is not what was meant to happen. We could be finding ourselves outside the automatic promotion spots to start the final game of the season. Butcher played it to Wright, played it to Hines. Has to be said, that is a really nice goal. That pass by Hines is great, and Ginnerly is there to tuck it into the bottom corner. Not ideal, everyone. Not ideal. Remain calm. It's fine. We don't keep clean sheets anyway. We just score more than the opposition. And of course, one of the big things that has definitely become more and more of a strength for us as the season's gone on is the options we have on the bench. We have real quality on the bench. They've got Andre Dezelle playing for them. Town Hall of Famer. Oh, I only wish he was on our team right now. Ginnerly's got another. It's 2-0 after 10 minutes. That is a problem. That is a bit of a problem. Our goal difference is already very ropey. I mean, Cumming, could he have got a stronger hand on it? I don't know. Just as a reminder, hadn't lost since Boxing Day until our previous match. Now we find ourselves in a situation where, we could be losing 2 on the bounce. Let's not talk negative. Positive mental attitude. Taylor almost had his 3rd goal in 4 games. Unfortunately, it's gone just over the bar. I think an early shouty is needed, but I've already shouted at them. Let me shouty at them some more. Playing this 4-3-3, they've caught us out a few times. Lopez at left back. I feel like, is he getting caught out of position? I feel like he's just not tracking his runner very well. Still, though, we score goals. We've scored a lot of goals as of late, so even at 2-0 down, I'm not going to panic. This game is far from over, and in fact, we're on the attack here. Coughlin, not a particularly safe ball back across his own line, but I think we've got away with it here. Twine with it, who, if you didn't see, Twine at the weekend scored a screamer in the FA Cup. I think it was against Ipswich. Worth checking out in your free time as the ball's dinked in. And Ellis Sims, as I said, we might need him to get 25 league goals this season. That is 23 in the league. He grabs the ball, he's legging it back to the halfway line. And that was nicely worked. Patient probing play. They were playing so narrowly here, Crewe, trying to force us wide. I'm kind of content to do that. I think our wing-backs have the potential and the ability to get forward in those wide areas and offer us balls into the box. And, well, we've done that just there, and we could have a chance here. Is it going to be Twine over it? It is indeed. He scored a free kick last game. Could he score another? Ooh, that was not far wide. Just off the mark, unfortunately. That was a heart-in-mouth moment. I will say, since Crewe scored their 2nd goal, they've not had a shot this half. It's been one of those, everyone. They've had an early flurry of chances, but we've settled into the game. Been the better team. Scoreline doesn't reflect that, though. I'm far from pleased. I need more from us. I believe in you all. Look at that bright green reaction. They're all loving it. Actually do something on the pitch now. This was the game of the 2 that we have today that I was most confident about winning. So the fact we're down in it is concerning. But who knows? There's time for the fight back. There's time for us to prove our promotion kind of credentials. And, well, that will do us. Callum Green. Not a bad time to get your 3rd goal of the season. I'm not sure what his celebration was there. I think it was like a weird, buggy flip of some kind. It looked weird. It looked like he was doing some kind of weird Irish dancing move. Either way, it's 2-2, everyone. And before someone says, I'm aware Green is Scottish, it looked like something you see in Irish dancing. It was a cartwheel. It didn't look like a cartwheel. Go back and watch it. I'm not going crazy. Either way, 2-2. That is the response to the second half that we needed. Not changing anything tactically, you'll note. It's very easy to overreact. When you go 2 goals down after 10 minutes, you can start overreacting and changing stuff too soon. But we stuck with what I think is our best system. It's the system that we've proven ourselves with. And it's seen us get back into this game and really step up our game. And I'm hoping that is the first of a few goals in this half, because we have been the better team here. Fitzpatrick bringing it forward, inside to Green. He hits it, looking for his 2nd goal in as many minutes. Maybe he just had a bit of a rush of blood to the head there. That was slightly unnecessary. You can see behind us, Preston currently moving up to 2nd. AFC Wimbledon into 3rd. So Barnsley struggling right now as Cabango hits the woodwork and it's going to be hoofed away. Can we get something into the box? We can't. That was an opportunity. Let's just have a quick look. I'm going to change the visualizer to latest scores here. So, Preston are winning 1-0. Goal just before half-time for them. Barnsley are 1-0 down at Plymouth. AFC Wimbledon are also 1-0 down. So a win here, if I'm not mistaken, a win here would guarantee us the title the way results are going. I mean, will we need the 2nd match of the episode? What do I do if that game has nothing on the line? I say all of that. This game is still very much in the balance. We can't start to afford to think about what's next. Keep your head in the game, Jack. Twine down to Taylor. He's dispossessed, but, well, Green's going to get there, and it's now with Coughlin. So many of the January signings have made a big difference. I hope that is evident in the way that we play. Like, there's just a bit more quality in areas. And you do notice it match to match. Lovely build-up play here. Lopez cutting in from the left. Crosses it in. It hits the woodwork. And with 20 minutes left, I feel like I should be considering some changes. Twine is looking very, very tired. I'm going to take him off. and bringing Ben Cottrell. We'll move Fitzpatrick out onto the left, play Cottrell on the right. Elsewhere, Taylor's not at the best of games. I mean, centre mids I feel like don't get good ratings anyway. You know what? I might take off Fitzpatrick as well because he is a bit tired. Bring in Chris Willis, the loanee from Forest. This is the quality that we have now. Tiring legs, we can just completely change things up, but in a way that doesn't really see us play worse players. Bizarre, we've got so much quality and depth in the attacking mid position that I can just rotate things like we have in this game. And it's not like we're bringing on worse players. You could even make an argument to say it's the better players coming on now. Anyway, I feel like we should be going for the win here. I feel like we should be going for the jugular. I say that. They've now got a set piece, which we're going to have to deal with, and we do deal with it. Can we now break? It's a 4-on-2 or 3-on-2. I can't count. Sims, Cottrell, Benny Cottrell, can you finish it? Oh, that was the chance to make it 3-2, wasn't it? That was the chance right there. On a plate. Cottrell whips in, Garcia nods it down. It's saved. 5 minutes left. They are looking to hit us on the break. How quickly did their keeper distribute that? Straight back up the other end. Stop it, football manager. Stop it. Do not foul either. Oh my word. It's all, Barnsley have now got a goal back against Plymouth. It's all kicking off here, everyone. It's all kicking off. 3 minutes left. Where is Felix's head? Revan heads it away, only as far as Willis. Can we keep them penned back? Cottrell, pull back. Ellis Sims is there. He's offside. He's offside. He's offside. Was he offside? I think Cottrell was the man offside, actually, with the first ball through. Yeah, he was offside. He was offside. I can't argue with it, everyone. Oh, and that's going to be that. I mean, from 2-0 down to get it back to 2-2 is okay, but I have to look at that as a missed opportunity. I didn't see how the league finished. I didn't see what happened in the other games. This is a nerve-wracking moment. We have slipped up there. I think everyone might have slipped up on the penultimate day of the season, which is very, very bizarre if that has happened. Oh, we will find out in just a second, I suppose. 2-2 it finished. Oh, the game against Barnsley means everything. A draw against them is enough for us. If we lose to them, they would go ahead of us, and AFC Wimbledon with a win would also leapfrog us, which means that we just don't lose to Barnsley. That is the upcoming mission, should we choose to accept it. Just don't lose to Barnsley, and we'll be fine. Preston lost 2-1 in the end, so with that, their kind of slim hopes of automatic promotion vanish. But going into this final game of the year, nothing is decided at the top. We are not guaranteed an automatic promotion spot. We are not guaranteed the title. Oh boy. Right, well let's hop forward to that. It's in 8 days' time. I'm going to go mentally collect myself. Oh, this could be wild. This could be wild. Okay guys, so it is time for this final game of the season. I am nervous, to say the very least. AFC Wimbledon taking on Blackpool. That is a game that we will be keeping a keen eye on. Unfortunately for Preston, they are out the running. They do not matter. A draw today would get us promotion. A defeat here, and we're hoping that AFC Wimbledon don't win. A win here, we win the league and none of that matters. That's the ideal scenario, really. In terms of team selection, I'm not going to change anything, which might seem a little bit bold after what could be argued to be a disappointing performance last time out against Crewe. But besides the slow start, we were the better team. We looked far, far better. And I do genuinely believe at this moment in time, this is the best 11 to get us a win in this kind of game. And while given our recent form against teams at the top, we have been doing quite well when we play our game, when we stop worrying about the opposition, their calibre, and really go for them. I think back to the games against Preston and AFC Wimbledon in recent episodes. In terms of Barnsley's team, it's a good team. They have got some really high quality players that we are going to have to be mindful of. And well, you can see here, the game is on TV. The man really to keep an eye on, I think, is Bart Weghorst. He is a Dutch youngster. He's pretty blooming scary, isn't he? If we just take a look at their team, just to show you what we're going up against today. Weghorst up there. Sam York. Sam York is playing for Barnsley, yes. Yeah, I know it's in the script, isn't it, everyone? Don't do it to me, Sammy. Also, they've got Worsfold here, who is a very, very good centre midfielder too. Oh, Sammy York up front for them. Not like this. My own son. This can't happen. This won't happen. It can't. If it does, I will cry. Let's hope that Football Manager is kind to us today. A comfortable win, please. That is the order of the day. And as I mentioned already, Blackpool, if Blackpool win, everything is fine. If AFC Wimbledon don't win, everything is fine. But that feels like a kind of big if, because Blackpool really aren't that good. And well, defensive early action needed as Sam York hits the post. Hughes, get it away! Get it, that'll do us. That will do us, but it's straight into another highlight. Stop it, Football Manager. Coughlin heads it up to Akinolu, puts it back into the mixer. Hughes heads it away, but only as far as Worsfold. Oh my word. If that goes in, I just walk away from my desk. I just walk away until the end of the first half. A slow start, it has to be said. Barnsley, of course, playing at home. They're going to back themselves here. They are in some good form. And Sam York, he's on the ball. Not like this. Stop it. Good save, keeper. Garcia away and out of the danger area for now. Into another. This has not been the start I want to see. I'm going to get shouty. Hopefully it's not too late. Corner whipped in. Near post header. Just the wrong side of the post. I mean, bizarrely, there's so many highlights here. They're yet to hit the target with any of them. The ball dinked in. Cabango heads it away. York's just been at the heart of everything they're doing right now, and I absolutely detest it. The Sam York fan club, they're loving it. They want the justice for the £11 million that Southampton spent. Sims to Fitzpatrick. Out on the right-hand side. Dispossessed. That is the softest penalty you've ever seen. In 3D, it's not a penalty. I can only assume it is. Now we have to score. This is a high-pressure moment for Twine. Can he score? Yes, he can. It's 1-0. It's against the run of play. Do you think I care? I don't care. I don't care. I just want to win the title and win this game. And right now, we have one foot in the championship. Twine holds his nerve. The former Swindon boy, a player trapped in League One for so many years. Maybe he's about to perform his escape act out of this division with Lincoln City. You can see the XG suddenly swings in our favour, but of course penalties massively skew that. AFC Wimbledon are winning their game right now, which means that a draw here would not be enough for Barnsley. Barnsley are going to have to win this game. Despite us being a goal up here, I'm still going to tell the players I'm not happy. We need to be doing more than that. I'm going to go with hands in your pockets. And you know what? Hands on the hips for the strikers. Ellis Sims, come on, son. Apparently he's had one of the better games in the team on a 7.0, although I don't feel like that's saying a great deal. Statistically, Barnsley, though, only one shot on target. For all those highlights they had early on, they missed an opportunity, I think, whilst they were in the ascendancy to win. It's now with Cooper, now with Harness, who hits it just wide of the post. Oh boy, remain calm. Remain calm. At what point do I start time wasting? I'm going to take off Callum Green. He's been a bit quiet today. I'm going to bring in Cottrell. I think I'm going to bring in Teddy Jenks as well. And I think I'm going to bring him in for Coughlin at centre mid. Jenks, a little bit more athletic, a little bit quicker. I feel like we need energy in the midfield right now. We need that second goal. A second goal and they have to score 3. Because they need to win right now. Fitzpatrick, can he win another penalty? He actually has. I said it more out of cheek than expectation. Oh, dear. I mean, we're like Liverpool with penalties. He's given a red card as well. Oh, my word. I mean, if we score this, surely this is us. Champions. Twine, can he get his second of the game? He can get his second of the game. He holds his nerve. 2-0 up Barnsley. At home, down a man. Need 3 goals. It can't happen. It won't happen. I'm calling it now. Not the best of penalties, but we'll take it. Oh my word. Punch the air, Twine. Punch the air. You're allowed to do that, my friend. I'm so glad we're dodging the playoffs. Just as a reminder, we've lost the last 2 playoff finals we've played in this career mode in the playoffs. But in 6 years, we're about to get our 3rd promotion. In 6 years, we've had 3 promotions and 2 playoff final defeats. Cottrell, oh, could we really sign this off in style? It's Benny Cottrell, could square it, goes alone, doesn't even hit the target. could have really sealed the deal for us there, but that is going to be that. Ourselves and AFC Wimbledon will be promoted. Barnsley only have themselves to blame. They've capitulated, and now we get to savour this. Now we get to savour this. The League One trophy being hoisted aloft. Lincoln City champions, and now also a championship club. We've got our green and red suits on. It's iconic. Get ready for a party. Get ready for the fireworks. We're going up. Are you watching Sammy York? Are you watching, son? He's in tears, actually, on the sideline. I wonder what weird relationship I would have with Sam York as a manager who sold him for 11 million, coming up against him in this kind of game. He wishes that he was here with us. He wishes he was wearing Lincoln colours right now. Instead, he's got to return to the red and white stripes of Southampton. Great performance by the entire defence, though. We were just the better team there. And what was quite nice was that we kept a clean sheet. Those haven't happened very often for us. It wasn't the most classic of end-of-season games, but we've got it done on the final day. Board set the budgets. What kind of money is the new board going to give us for the championship? £5.6 million transfer budget, a wage budget of 115k too. That's a pretty hefty increase, but I would not be against moving clubs if the right job came along. Is that a bit of a heel turn for me to reveal that right now? I mean, let's talk about this, right? This career mode is all about moving clubs to get to the Premier League and win the Premier League. And the aim that I mentioned loads of episodes ago now, I want to win the Premier League with a team that's never won the Premier League in the Premier League era. And of course, one of our long-standing affiliates is a team I've had my eye on for a while. Nottingham Forest currently sit bottom of the league. They're relegated. They've had one win all Premier League season. You can see they spent 2 years in the Premier League surviving by the skin of their teeth. I have got an eye on them, but I know that Chris Hughton may not even be sacked from them because of kind of the nature of things. We're in this weird scenario now where, look, we've done a lot of Lincoln City here, and I feel pretty good going into the championship. I think we've got a good young squad, a team that could grow into that level, establish themselves, hopefully challenge for a playoff spot within a few years. But that jump between where we are now and a team challenging at the top of the championship is massive. You know, every year you're coming up against teams falling from the Premier League and then trying to fight their way back. If we look at our coaching profile and stuff, we have our Continental Pro license. We can't get a higher qualification than that at all. So we're not going to get better from doing coaching courses. And, you know, slowly but surely, all our attributes have improved over the last 6 years. Our reputation has shot up as well. It's now at 3 stars because of the promotions that we've had. My stock is high, and I have only got 1 year left on my current contract. In fact, no, 2 years left on my current contract, but the buyout is the equivalent of a year. It's 120k a team would have to pay. So I guess the logical question is, would I move on? And the answer is, I would if the right job came along. But what the right job is, I think for me personally at this point in time, it has to be a team at the top end of the championship, a team who've potentially been relegated. Looking at a team that have money that should be ready-made for the Premier League. I feel like it's pretty unrealistic to expect me to get an opportunity to manage a Premier League club right now, although, you know, maybe that's something to look at. I think realistically, you're looking at the likes of Bournemouth, Swansea, Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, maybe even Leeds United if they somehow got sucked down, and saying that could be a job. And the truth be told is that this summer is going to be one where, whilst I'm going to have one eye very firmly fixed on establishing Lincoln City as a championship club, it kind of from my own selfish interests, and because, let's be honest, as a manager, I'm not getting paid much money here at Lincoln City. I have got to think about the bigger picture, about upping our wages, about earning a better living. You know, I think back to Lincoln City in real life, where they have the Cowley brothers, who were their managers for a long, long time, and then they moved to Huddersfield in the Championship from League One, whilst Lincoln were, you know, on course for a promotion season, or certainly challenging for the playoffs. And I feel like I've got a bit of Danny Cowley in me, dare I say it. A bit of an ambition to go to a slightly bigger club, a club with less of a ceiling. And whilst in Football Manager you can get rid of those ceilings, it takes time. And, you know, from the selfish perspective of my career, I want to do it quicker. But anyway, rather than talk about what I think about moving clubs, but I think I've kind of explained everything well, let's talk about deals and the end of season review, shall we? So first and foremost, signings for the season, standout performers Felix Garcia, a player who was relatively unknown until, well, Courtney House, who we just signed, got a broken wrist, gave Garcia some games, and he just turned it up and turned it on. Was absolutely top draw this year, and to be fair, I feel like all of our transfers had a pretty good impact. Of course, the patch that fixed average ratings only came in halfway through the season. In terms of biggest disappointment, Jordan Stevens. Huge disappointment. A player who I may even look to sell on. He's not been good enough since he joined us from Italy. But the good news is we brought in so many new players and had so many other players step up. It wasn't too much of a concern. You can see the season summary here. Top goal scorer for the competition was Ellis Sims. 8,600 fans. Average home attendance, not quite selling out, sadly enough for us, but 89 points, a very, very healthy league total, of course. Start to the season was good, but fell off. And well, after January, with the right additions, despite the fact that we weren't keeping clean sheets, we weren't particularly good defensively, we made it work, and we made it work well. Of course, moment to remember, match to remember, that win against Everton in the Carabao Cup. What an insane win that was. Our biggest win of the year came in the EFL Trophy against Preston, who bottled the title, where we beat them 5-0. And goal of the season, actually, you saw earlier today in today's episode. It was the Twine free kick from 29 metres out. Financially, most of the money is on the ups, with the exception, actually, of competition prize money and match day commercial and retail income. But the net benefit was pretty big. Kind of surprised our rep didn't jump up anymore with the success that we had in our cup competitions, but just one of those things. In terms of how we set up our team, as you can see here, we rotated the team a fair amount this season, but key players played a role. And when you look at the average ratings here, it paints a picture. Twine was great when he came in. Fitzpatrick stepped up this level. Last year's player of the season was top draw. 14 goals, 12 assists. Exact same total for Ben Cottrell as well. Twine, 5 goals, 8 assists. Played, significantly fewer games because he came in halfway through the year. And Ellis Sims, I doubted him. I shouldn't have doubted him. He was a surprise package and a half. He was just top draw this year. So many goals for us. In terms of accolades, fans player of the season for a second year in a row goes to Aidan Fitzpatrick. Signing of the season was Scott Twine, who also, of course, got that goal of the season. Record breakers, Ellis Sims set a joint record, I believe it was, for Lincoln City of most goals by a player in a season. And of course, our highest transfer fee ever paid was Scott Twine. We smashed the club record, and it paid off. That gamble after the takeover to really invest in the team and say, yes, we're going for the promotion this year. It's worked, and that is a gamble that obviously is worth kind of praise. You can see here, it's end of season, we're going up. Championship, a level that I don't think Lincoln have ever played at in living memory. I think they have been reasonably high in the Football League many, many moons ago, but certainly in their more recent history, this is something that is uncharted territory for the club. And of course, it's territory that in real life the club are currently striving towards. They are up there fighting for promotion. In terms of expectations for next season, avoid relegation in the Championship. I think that's a pretty realistic aim. It's always a big jump up, I think, League 1 to the Championship. It's always tough. You can see here, end of next season, we've got training facilities and youth facility improvements ongoing, which is good. Hopefully, we're still going to have the funds to make that happen. Besides that, though, nothing too crazy going on here. Like the focus on youth. And, the main aim for the club right now is let's just sustain the club as a Championship side. And I suppose that has to be our aim. Anyway, let's talk to the players. It's been a great season, giving you all a chance. You know what? I have faith in us not to be involved in a relegation battle. That's a relief. We'll have a chance to prove ourselves. Why are people disappointed? Why are you upset? Why do you not like that? Let's avoid the drop. Okay, they thought I was being too ambitious by saying avoid a relegation battle. If we are still at Lincoln, that will be the aim. And as I said, I will be very much making a focus of working out what we're doing with Lincoln, but I'm always going to be leaving that door open. Anyway, the players are very happy. They're excited for next season. Look at those. You'd think that we'd have a bit more budget now. We're a championship team to get some more comfortable chairs for the players. Bit bleak, that team meeting room. Anyway, training camp destinations. Where are we going? Scotland or the East Midlands? Blimey, it's very exotic. Where do you think we should go, Ryan? East Mid. Let's keep it local. Anyway, staff number updates. So some new staff limits coming in, which is nice. That means that we can upgrade the coaching team a little bit more, have slightly more specialisation in different categories and such. Oh my. Well, we've done it, everyone. We've done it. We've made it to the championship. We're one step away. You can see here the board have announced the work that's been done on the training and youth facilities. 7.25 million. They found the money to do that. We now have no money in the club balance. That is a little bit of a concern, considering they told me there's 5 million to spend. Hopefully the board are actually going to pump some money into the club now to make up for all that money they've just taken out and spent on facilities. Otherwise, we could be in a bit of a situation here. Anyway, thinking about the team for next season in terms of what we can do, what we should be doing. I mean, this is where it gets tricky, right? Because as I said, I think Cumming and Cabango, I mentioned this earlier on in today's episode, they are good enough for the championship. Is Lopez good enough for the championship? I think low-end championship, yes. I think if we want to be finishing higher than that, we need to upgrade. Maybe a similar situation with Hughes as well. Maybe Hughes less so, because he's just a little bit better defensively, which I do think makes a difference, especially when we go up into a new league. Players like Taylor and Coughlin, I think Taylor is good enough for the championship, at least for avoiding the drop. I think if we can aim for 12s in everything, 12s and 13s, that's kind of the golden area to be aiming for. So a player like Coughlin very much hits that range. Green, on the other hand, as an advanced playmaker, yeah, you could argue that he ticks those boxes in terms of that quality. Of course, he very nearly made a move for £6 million to Crystal Palace in January. If that kind of bid came in again, I would be very inclined to consider it and potentially take it. Because I think it's 5 or 6 million I could, get 2 or 3 greens for. Of course, players like Twine that I signed during the season, I signed very much with the kind of intent that he would be good enough for the championship. That was part of the thinking with the upgrades that we brought in, is he could definitely make the step up, so no worries there. Fitzpatrick, maybe more of a question mark over him, although for his specific role, I think he can do a job for us. I think he's, over the last couple of years, he's earned the chance, right, to prove himself at championship level after great performances in League 1 and League 2. Sims I've got some reservations about, and despite him not featuring as much this year, I look at El Idrissi. This guy is championship quality in my opinion. Ignore what the staff say. I feel like if I compared El Idrissi, the strikers of teams who went down from the championship this year, he would be as good as them. Let's look at Coventry. Coventry did finish comfortably bottom, so this might not be the fairest comparison. But Arthurton was their ending. He's very good and young. Was their kind of striker at the end of the season. If we compare him and El Idrissi, I would certainly make the argument that El Idrissi is the better player. I think it could go either way, but I think in terms of as a striker, El Idrissi is a better option. And maybe that's not. Let's look for another team, because let's be honest, they've done nothing this year. Ipswich Town, Ipswich. What's your striker looking like? Ipswich are a little bit more competitive this year in the league. So if we look at Macaulay Bonne here and compare him with El Idrissi, maybe this isn't as good. Now, you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns here. El Idrissi is better than the strikers that were coming down from the teams relegated from the Championship this year. And to be fair, I think El Idrissi isn't one of our star players anymore by any means. Of course, players like Teddy Jenks, question marks over whether or not he'll be good enough for the Championship. I think Herbie Kane probably is good enough for the Championship. A player wasn't given as much first-team football this year because of, Coughlin and Jake Taylor doing so well. To be honest, when you look across the team, I think, well, there's part of me that thinks, yes, we need to massively improve, but even players like Hughes and Lopez, their potential is Championship level. And because of the age of our team, because of the youth in our team, I think it's very much a case of just signing the right players when they come up. I don't feel like we have a weakness right now, and I feel like that's kind of represented in the fact that all of our players' kind of star ratings are between 2.5 and 4.5 stars, with the exception of Willis, who's in on loan. Like there's not a world of difference between our players. It's a really deep squad with lots of quality everywhere. can we bring in 1 or 2 superstar players? I mean, if I was looking for particularly kind of star positions, maybe a new striker, maybe a new centre attacking mid, but that feels harsh on Green in a weird way. I don't know. I would love to know what you would do with my team right now, because I feel like over the course of this season, I've built a top quality League One team with lots of potential everywhere. And I don't think there's a weakness in this team. That's not to say there's any super standout strengths on the flip side, although I'd say our defence in terms of Cabango and Cumming is a pretty good benchmark, for the kind of players that we want across the entire pitch, at the very least. But I don't know, there's just not a weakness. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm kidding myself here. I feel like every end of season episode, I kind of sit here and go, there's not a glaring weakness, because I don't feel like we've ever had a situation so far at Lincoln where going into a year or ending a year, there's been a position where I've gone, he was awful this season. And I think I maybe would have had that halfway, at the halfway point of this season, before the transfers. I think the transfers that we did almost eradicated the need for me to go and sign more players, because a lot of the signings, like Twine, like Taylor, getting Twine and Taylor merged there, they were brought in with the mindset of these guys are good enough for the Championship and should be good enough to get us promoted. Anyway, I feel like that's it for today. I feel like with these end of season episodes, I need to find a better structure with them. I feel like it just descends into me rambling at the end about my squad. But maybe that's what people enjoy. Maybe that's what people are here for. Either way, if you have made it to the end of the video, thank you for sticking with my ramblings. Next episode will be a weird one. It may be the start of next season in the Championship. We may be coming back for some crazy job decision shenanigans. I don't know. It's a mystery. You just don't know what you're going to get. It's like a box of chocolates this summer at Park to Prem, except it's not going to make you fat and it's not particularly tasty. Anyway, I'm done rambling, everyone. Shall we move on from this? I may be back tomorrow, depending on how long pre-season takes. There may not be an episode tomorrow. Do keep that in mind. And, regardless, whenever I see you next, I hope you're doing fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your day. It is me, Jack. I'm just rambling on and on. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.